Welcome, welcome everyone. We're going to start with a dance. So wherever you are invited to stand on your feet to wake your body up, regardless of what time it is. So just coming on. We're going to just start with some hip movement so you can keep your eyes closed, however you feel, just getting comfortable with moving your hips. This is Egyptian Tantra, so we're going to work with some of this ancient magic of belly dance to start with. Taking some nice deep breaths, just circulating your hips. And this is about you right now. So just closing your eyes and feel the flow of energy in your hips. Moving up your spine and back down. Having fun with yourself, breathing, opening your body. Imagining the snakes dancing through your body. Hips are filled with life-giving breath, with energy from the earth moving up your body. Feeling the water as it moves through your body, as well as your flame. All the elements. Dance for yourself. Lubricating your joints, your muscle, your bones, moisturizing yourself from inside. This dance is a celebration for your own life. And we're gonna pick up the beats, so you're just gonna feel your hips and really feeling the sturdiness of your feet and your hips. So just letting your ass have a nice jiggle here, feeling the joy of energy in your hips. Yes! Making sound. of the earth just flowing through your hips. Yes. Shake like no one's watching. Have fun with yourself. Feeling all that sap rising to your heart, through your breasts, from your tail, all the way up to your crown, and back down. Breathe it up. And back down. Beautiful. Fluid spines. A fluid spine. Yes. The last few minutes. Making love to existence itself. Beautiful. And just taking a few breaths into your body. Nice deep breaths. Inhale, exhale, and just if you want, you can stay standing for a moment or come to be seated. Just breathing for a moment, feeling what's alive in your body. Feeling that central channel, your spinal cord. Maybe it feels more alive, vibrating. And take a moment to close your eyes with this, to feel yourself. Feeling your heart beating. You might feel energy coming from your hips as arousal, as just a good sap that's flowing through your body. Your circulation moving, releasing any tension through the shaking. So just feel into the effect of this beautiful dance. And also through that beat and rhythm, just finding your place here and now in this session called Biodynamics of Egyptian Tantra, to just feeling for a moment what brought you here, what drew you in, what magnetized you, what questions, what inquiries, curiosities, what dreams, memories connects you to this vibration of the session. What is it about the word Egypt, maybe? Or maybe it's Tantra. And tuning into what you're feeling right now, arriving here. And if you feel to, you can just write in the chat, if you feel enlivened by something, what it is that has magnetized you here. If there's a question, an inquiry, or just even a dream that brought you here. If you feel. And okay. Okay, so maybe that dance brought us internal. Ah, there we go. Some shares. Beautiful. The ancient to become alive. The ancient. Okay, love. Great. The deep esoteric. Beautiful. Oh. Great. Thank you for those. Gives me a sense of what's alive in this space. All right. Great. So, to begin, I'm going to offer a transmission. And then after that, what happens is we go on an experiential journey so that you have an experience of this in your body on an embodied cellular level, so that whatever information you get becomes your own embodied wisdom because you had an experience with it, which is very different to just receiving something and then not knowing what to do with it, or having, to actually have it seeping into you. So I am Yasmin. I'll just introduce myself so you know who I am, and some of you might already know me or have done work with me before. I'm very passionate about reviving the essence of what Egypt stands for, what it stood for in the past and what it stands for now. And I am half Egyptian. I grew up on the land, and it was my love affair with the land, basically, that pretty much led me back to diving deeper into this body of work. So I've been deeply diving in for over a decade in different studies and experiences and long meditations and yoga studies and all kinds of things all over the world, India, Nepal, all the way down to South America, North America. I've traveled, I've studied, I've learned different mystery schools, different things, and really had long experiences. But like the story of The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, sometimes you have to go back home to find it was all there. So the journey is one that takes you far, but then you're like, it's here anyway. It's just here. It's in me. So that's pretty much what led me back to Egypt. And in that, I discovered that Egypt carried something that was pretty lost in a sense that most of what we hear by Egyptologists in different studies are the translations of what the Greeks or later on the British and the French have translated. But of course, it doesn't carry the exact essence of what the land stood for. So things get misinterpreted. And according to what people want to believe, they write that. And yet the land carries something sometimes quite different than what's written. So I've had the fortune to be there a lot. I'm there in Egypt a lot. I spend a lot of time in Luxor, which is where the Valley of the Kings and Queens and great Karnak temple and all that, and really drinking in from the different temples, and also my own studies of reading the hieroglyphics, which is a slow process, but also really diving into what does this mean? What does it stand? And I've come to realize that it's an extremely embodied, shamanic, and beautiful, in a way, graspable, down to earth like spirituality, in the way that it isn't what many think. It's super abstract and very cosmic and connects to aliens and to star nations. Actually, they were it was so connected to nature itself. So as we go through this journey of really wanting to unify ourselves, come into union, our masculine, our feminine, our animal, our spirit, in that deep longing of a heart to come home, to be whole, to be free, to be love, and to embody that, to be that, to share that with another or with others. There are certain pathways, certain dynamics between these energies that we can start to understand, so that we can unify them. So some of you may be here because you want more the Tantra aspect and the sacred sexuality. Some of you may be wanting more the deep wisdom and esoterics. And the beautiful thing about this body of work, it has all those streams. So we're going to touch in and introduce a number of these streams, and then you can have an experience to really feel the union of those streams in you. So let's just take a breath together, and I'm going to encourage you throughout this next 90 minutes to breathe with me sometimes. Just when you're watching a screen, it can be easy to forget that you breathe and you have a body and you feel. So taking a breath. So after many of these things, I'll be like, take a breath with me. Great. So when it comes to working shamanically with these Egyptian mysteries, which actually are not really mysteries, my mentor, my African mentor, has said that, mysteries are in a way just stories that have been told or untold. There's nothing that mystical about it. It's just stories that we live, that we might hear about or we haven't yet heard about. And these temples are basically houses of life and houses of wisdom. So they're not something that's out of ordinary, extraordinary, in the sense that we cannot tap into them. We are that. We are those living temples. We are these houses of life. We are these houses of wisdom. And we, in a way, can connect to the deeper story. It's a human story. It's the story of love. It's the story of grieving. It's the story of loss. It's the story of death. It's the story of life. It's the story of new beginning. It's the story of celebration. It's the story of going to sleep and dreaming. It's about eating, drinking. It's everyday kind of existence. That is the deeper mystery, that we are these bodies and we have these souls inside of us. And our soul nature strives to be free. As a soul, we wish to emerge. We wish to be broken free. And we wish to radiate who we truly are, our essence, into the world. So this in the Egyptian cosmology, a body of work would be called our Horus-like nature. It's that part of us, like the winged falcon, the part of us that wants to radiate out like a sun into the world, free and giving in a way we don't hold back who we are. So the ultimate journey of this tantric union, this one particularly, is the union between Isis and Osiris, or Uset and Usar. And Isis represents the weaving aspect of the feminine, the part that holds our memories, the deep water of our being, the unconscious, the yearning, the desire, the longing to merge. So as part of the journey to union, requires that essence of longing, the desire, the deep heart longing. Some may call it devotion. Some may call it that part that just wants to retreat and offer everything up to love. That sense like I don't want all this, the madness or the stuff that doesn't deeply touch your heart. It's like the longing for the truth, the longing for the union with love, to kiss that, to make love with Usar. And Usar, or Osiris, in this body of work is considered the void. He's considered that part that we will never see, we will never really get to experience in this lifetime, but it's something that's deep inside of us, that's eternal. So this union between Isis and Osiris is like one of the propelling cornerstones of a lot of the initiates' work, which would be through the longing of the heart, through the heartbreak of the loss of ever having been separated from the eternal truth, from that which is true love, true freedom, that heartbreak and those beautiful tears that are shed, which is a very alchemical process, which is very simple, to allow those gentle tears to fall so that one can rest and find that rest within Usar, which is within this eternal nature. And from that, because none of these unions are empty of sexual energy, they are full of sexual energy. The whole Egyptian shamanic body of work is full of union and not an immaculate conception, which doesn't involve actual lovemaking. It is the lovemaking of these energies that births Horus, the sun, our soul, into the world. And this soul emergence is actually what is like that emergence as your essence, your vocation. Some may call it the sole purpose in the world. You're here and you are in a way have found the lightness of heart, the joy, because you have something that erects your spine, resurrects you, and brings you forth into the world. So this sense of having in a way, being spineless or not finding that which erects your spine, which makes you stand for something, makes you want to live for something, makes you even want to live and die for something. That is a Heru quality. That is, like one could say, the healthy divine child energy, or even the warrior, the healthy divine warrior energy that exists within men and women. So this union of these gives birth to that. And part of that longing of Isis, the longing in the heart, the grieving to come home, to be home, to merge with the truth of all that is to give birth ultimately to who you are. What's the point of going there and then not coming out? Bring your gift, shine forth into the world. So that's part of one of this beautiful trinity, which later on became Jesus and Mary, and Mary, but the Immaculate Conception. But really what was missed from the story was the phallus, the erect phallus. So if we go into the actual mythology of this, as some of you know the story where Osiris's body was cut up by their jealous brother, which represents chaos, right? So chaos is a part of life. If we don't have a bit of chaos, things will not change. Things will not find new orders. So this chaos energy shakes things up. So in life, it cannot always be perfect. Chaos will happen. And it's how we can work with that can keep us aligned in a certain way. But sometimes we even need to lose that alignment completely and allow ourselves to even go a bit mad, a bit crazy, to find our senses again. But when we find it, we feel even more connected to ourself. So that energy that shakes things up a bit brings us actually home sometimes. So to not feel like something's happened because you're not finding your senses, you're not finding yourself, that's okay. Because that's the journey of the soul. It needs to forget, to lose itself, to find itself again. That's why we're here. So in this story, this chaotic energy kind of cut Osiris's body, got so angry that he murdered pretty much Osiris, and chopped him into 14 pieces and spread him into the land. Now this story there's a much longer story, but I won't go into that in this time we have. Let's just go straight to that point, is that scattering of Osiris. So sometimes in life we may feel scattered, right? Like parts of us want different things. We feel a little bit all over the place. The mind is not fully one-pointed, focused, sharp. There's a bit of scattering. The emotions are here and there. The mind is here and there. Beautiful. Like the moon has those 14 It has the 28 different phases, but 14, and then it repeats itself on the other side as 14. So it's like we're working with that energy, that lunar energy that kind of doesn't show us who we are. There's little shadows, and we don't always get to feel it all. It's natural. We're part of nature. That's how nature works in us. And Isis then, in her grieving, in her longing, and even her madness, her insanity that wants to bring the lover back, she finally sheds her tears. And when she does that, she sings. And when she sings, she comes back to her senses. So if you feel like you're a person who has never sung before, sing. Take a moment to even sound your voice. This is extremely important in the path of liberating your energy. It's very much connected to your sex center. It's very much connected to the base of your body and to your essence. So when you sing, something happens inside. And it's a process, you know? And of course, you'll notice the part of you that says, I don't sound good. I don't like my voice. I'm not a singer. That's exactly where you get to see some of your own inner, so to say, judgment or criticism, which is totally natural and fine. But to sing without caring, that is a moment where you'll feel a breakthrough of liberation. So in her song that she sung, through that singing, she was then able to put together the pieces of Osiris. But there was one piece that was missing, and that was his phallus. That was his phallus, his cock. And so she, being also the magician that she was able to make a phallus. Some say out of gold, some say out of clay. I like the story of clay because it's more, she's there with the body on the earth. She gathers it together, makes a phallus. And what she does is she sits on this earth, this erected earth, and she impregnates herself and she brings life into herself. So this is a very important story that somewhat got disconnected from the Christian story, which was the immaculate birth nature doesn't conceive without actually having physical penetration. So she physically penetrated herself. And with that energy, that orgasmic energy of union, she impregnated herself with the seed, which is the soul. And from that, Horus gave birth to Horus. So this is an important part when we want to find ourselves. We want to bring ourselves forward into the world, that energy of impregnating ourselves, of allowing ourselves to ride the blissful wave of sexual energy, the beautiful orgasmic waves, to actually give birth to ourselves. So if we're trying to sit down and put purpose points and try to find our purpose through our head and through our mental process, it's unlikely sometimes that we'll really feel it, because it requires a certain sap, a certain arousal of the heart, an arousal of the body to really want to bring ourselves. So that arousal is an important part of the journey. So that's the trinity of that trinity, which is an important part if we're going to work with, a shamanic kind of tantric connection to Egypt. And also remembering now that Horus, or Heru, which is his Kemetic or Egyptian name, is married to Heteru, which is Hathor. Now, Hathor really embodies the school of sacred sexuality. She also embodies the school of astrology, the stars, but also the birthing of that into physical manifestation. So, Hathor's temple is a beautiful temple, and if you ever get to go to Egypt, and some of you will maybe go soon, that you will see a beautiful mural which shows that the soul at night goes into the night sky, basically. Our soul at night needs to fly. Our soul wants to fly. We cannot be bound to body all the time. We need that sense of flight to refresh ourselves, to come back again and to be back in life. It takes a huge toll sometimes energetically to be a soul in this world, So the soul flies, and in that it journeys through the constellations, through the Milky Way, which is the body of Nut, the body of the mother. Remembering in Egypt, The mother is the night sky, the father is earth. So journeying through this body of the Milky Way, even beautiful, the word Milky Way, so delicious, so full of life. And from the Milky Way, if you look at this Muriel, from her breasts, Nut's, the mother's breast, comes breast milk down to earth, in which all life grows. So this beautiful connection between body, fertility, sexuality, and the fluids, that the sap of life itself. So from her breasts come this milk to grow life. And then the soul is born again from her mouth in the morning, and we start again. So every night we die, every day we are reborn. If we can find that process in us where we can lay ourselves to rest at night, really lay ourselves to rest, that in the morning we rise refreshed. But of course, this journey at night, sometimes we touch into some of our deep anxieties or fears or thought processes, which is totally natural, because part of this journey is also journey into the underworld. So a lot of the journey with Egyptian body of work is journeying into the underworld, the hidden parts of our unconscious, the deeper psyche, the realms of Nephthys and Anubis, which never sees the light of day. And there we go deeper into our shadow work. There we go deeper into the wisdom, our living wisdom that we accumulate through the dark, whether it's through dreams, whether it's through our deep feelings of fear or sorrow or shame or desire. All those places, they're considered sacred places. They're sacred temples in their own right, because there you really discover some of your depth, some of your core, some of who you truly are as a soul. So we cannot disconnect the underworld and strive only for the sun shining consciousness. Through the underworld, through the night, through our depth, through our dark, and even through the underworld, which are the gateways of death, there we discover face to face who we truly are. And that's a deep journey, to face yourself, in seeing yourself and the gateways of death. You have nowhere to hide. You're there directly looking into the eyes, into the heart, into the core of who you are. So a beautiful thing to do is to start that process of really meeting yourself in this life, in this while you're alive, to come to face different aspects of your nature, so that when you do pass on, you feel like you're returning to nature as nature itself. So this night sky journey and the journey of the soul then coming out of the mouth of Nut, Hathor is the connection to the star realm and also to our physical body and to sensual pleasure, to everything that we enjoy. Music and dance and dream space were her medicines. So if you are feeling unwell, it's likely in her temple you would be asked to self-pleasure, to cultivate your sexual energy so that you feel yourself again. If you have for very, very long not run any of your sexual energy, this does not mean masturbation to a point of orgasm. It means running the sensual sap through your body to revive and revitalize your organs and your body. Then it's like, do that. See if you feel better after doing that. If you, also beings would come there to the temple to listen to beautiful music while they could dream and rest. Switch off from the everyday stresses of life and allow themselves to dream in the beautiful soundscapes that healed and brought the soul back to a state of resonance, back to a state of balance in the harmonics of music. So sound, music, different harmonics of sound. And of course the dance. Through the dance, we move our body, we go into trance, we shake up all those things that feel a bit stuck or stagnant in our mind and in our body. And by that movement, new life streams can move through our body. So in her temple, Heteru Hathor, the rituals of restoring, revitalizing sexual energy, the ritual of self-pleasuring, the ritual of union, lovemaking, conscious conception, bringing bodies together that want to conceive, attuning to the stars, which were the soul realm, where we are born, where we go from the stars, attuning to that, conceiving children with awareness, with consciousness, and even astrologically maybe at the right time. So they were masters of astrology, and the astrology chart that we know now is very clearly seen on the Hathorian Dendera temple, which shows the 12 zodiac signs and the journey of the soul through the zodiac signs. So astrology, timing, cycles, bliss, celebration, pleasure, staying youthful, staying young, no matter what age you are, that you are 90 and you're still got a spark of youth in you, that never dies, that starlit kind of spark inside your soul that stays alive all your life. The aging process is just the body changing, but that spark of that youth is there, that child kind of wonder stays there all your life. Then you're starting to work with that Hathorian principle and remembering she's married, she's in union with Heru, with Horus. That focused will, but it's not a will that will push your ass to get somewhere, like, come on, let's do our, 5-step program and 12-step. No, it's in union with a focus, a gentle but directed clarity of focus. Even if it wavers, it's still like lovingly focused. And with her energy of this life, of this sap, of this, being in the tides and the movements of life, but they're fully. If you're crying, you're crying. If you're happy, you feel yourself. If you're feeling down, you rest your body, you sleep, you dream, you journal, you light a fire, you go for a walk. Everything that connects us to our day-to-day existence. It isn't something that we strive for externally out of our bodies. It's in us. It's in our everyday, day-to-day life, day-to-day choices that these forces of nature or intelligences move with us. So that's a beautiful other connection, a union, Hathor and Horus. And they are very much connected to the Tantric mystery school. So in their temples, we see phalluses, we see dance, we see breasts, we see breast milk, we see the ecstasy of being alive in a human body. And if we're not feeling ecstatic for whatever reason, beautiful. Come to this house of life. Come and restore yourself. Whether it's in your own kitchen at home with the food you cook for yourself, whether it's a song you put on, whether it's how you make love, or even just being held for a moment while you cry in someone you love's arms, or even feeling the depth of whatever it is, but feeling it deeply, then you have started your own transformational healing process. And they will support you. They are there because they're you. They're inside of you. They're not idealized outer things. They're you. That's your nature. And so there's a number of these unions, right? So I'm just touching in briefly on some. The union of Ma'at and Thoth or Tahuti is a very clear union. I won't go too much into that, but let's just say they birth the whole sacred sciences, the laws that govern life. One could even say the laws that govern our everyday life, contracts, mathematics, science, precision. But how they do it is not like how we know now. It's a very different energy. It is infused with the love that is in everything. So it's like the love that is nature, that permeates everything. So it's not the strict, sterile, closed laws that we have now that bind us. It's laws that free us because they are the laws that govern life itself. They are laws of love, and they are here to hold us in our integrity through this vibration of love. So it's very different. And finally, there's more, but if you ever choose to go deeper with me on some of these longer shamanic journeys, which I offer, then you'll get to really dive into deeper unions on a week-to-week basis. But I want to touch in on one more that is a very beautiful one. And some of you sisters and brothers out there might be like, connected to Sekhmet, which is the lioness energy, and really love her for some reason. Like, ooh, I love this feline quality, this lioness, this roaring, raging, beautiful lioness. So that is Sekhmet. And Sekhmet is connected to the lioness. And remembering that in Egypt, in Kemet, or in these African Nile cultures, they saw animals as not something that's an animal. They saw them as souls that dwelled, consciousness that dwelled in bodies too. And they were not so different. They were actually, sometimes they had qualities that we can only aspire to. We can only wish we had. The sight of a falcon, the power of a big cat, a feline, the cunningness of some of the animals, the sharpness, the sense of smell, the sense of sight, the flight of animals, like certain qualities that if we just had a little bit of, we would feel like Superman and Superwoman, you know. And these are animals; they're in nature. So if we can aspire to some of these beautiful qualities, and Sekhmet is that quality of the big cat. So those of us that know how to be a big cat, be sovereign, take your space, know how to take your space and ask for what you want. Beautiful lioness energy. And also part of her energy is that when something needs to end, all the power, all the desire completely consumes that until it's empty, until it's past, until it's cleared. So not the half-hearted inner kind of endings, but a full, ravenous ending to bring in new life. So if you know if there's a habit or something, and rather than dwelling and dabbling in with it for years, it's like that full conviction, that full devouring of it until it cannot exist anymore. It's that passion, the desire, this beautiful feline energy inside of us. And also remembering the cats are beautiful representations of when it's time to rest. You rest, you don't care. You don't think I need to do something else. You're in the complete bliss of lounging. Lounging is a beautiful word. I love lounging because there's something quite wonderful about giving yourself space to lounge on a sofa, to sprawl yourself in the sun, in the grass, and not care about anything for a moment. You know, that beautiful energy of really going in, but full-heartedly with whatever you do. And if it's a time to be ferocious, if it's a time to even devour something, you will do that, but with your full passion, with your full heart. Then it's complete. No one can say anything. You're not hurting. You're bringing it all forward. So she represents that holy desire. And some of the spiritual teachings out there will say desire is wrong. How to transcend desire. Make sure you are empty of desire. Desire is the way that will pull you down. Well, and this is different. Desire is the thing that will liberate you, because when you feel it fully, but you don't keep it as a shadow of something you want and you're pretending you don't want, but no, you in it fully with all the love, with everything, then in a way you're embodying that desire. It becomes a holy desire. It becomes a burning flame inside of you that gives you a sense of being alive. So if you're desiring a relationship, desire it so deeply. Allow it to burn through your being. Burn, not burn out. Burn in a beautiful warm glow so that you're like alive with this desire of whatever it is you want, and you will somewhat draw it in. Because this energy, this desire also propels you to move forward. This feline energy, especially of the big cat, is filled with this solar plexus energy. It moves, it's action orientated, it has energy, power, vigor. So when you desire something so fully, that solar plexus energy will move with it. And as all of these unions, they require balance between masculine and feminine. So if you're only driven by that feminine kind of, I want, and it can also in a way burn you out. It can also in a way leave you unbalanced. Or it can also lead you to a little bit of disillusionment. So it requires a balanced counterpart, which in this case would be Patah. And Patah represents that inner architect, that part of us that even as we have that desire, we're able to architect our life in a certain way. Bring it to an order, kind of see the geometry, see the steps, see the pattern, so that when we move, we're moving in a way that is grounded. And that gives birth to our final birth that we're going to speak about today, which is Nefertum, the blue lotus. And the blue lotus energy in all the sharings and teachings ultimately is that birthing of your beauty, of your soul essence in the world as beauty. So the Kemetic cultures, the Nile Valley cultures, loved beauty. Beauty was so important because it was the signature of divine, and not beauty like we know it now, not this magazine photoshopped beauty. Beauty of the soul that is free, beauty of nature in its growth and in its decay, the beauty of life and death, the beauty of sorrow, the beauty of pain, the beauty of poetry, the beauty of expression, the beauty of being alive. And whether you're in your high moment or low moment, or in your internal moment or external moment, that beauty that is the change of life, the symphony, the artistry of your life, that is the beauty, and that gives birth to the beauty way, which means yourself as a soul simply emanating your soul fragrance in the world. You just are, you just become, you effortlessly, something happens, and all these changes will happen. They're bound to happen. It's life, it's nature, it's full of cycles. But in that, some part of you is rested enough, you're home enough in your heart to understand that things arise and fall away. Things will die, things will go, things will be lost, things will come in. And you can rest in that in your heart, seeing the beauty that is everything, and somewhat just come to rest in your soul nature. And from that emanate your wisdom, your love into the world. Not that in a way you emanate it, so now you need to write a book, you need to prove it, you need to show everyone that you're that. No, you just are. And if a byproduct comes, that something happens, wonderful. But it might be that you decide to live in a little cabin and paint paintings that no one sees. Who cares about proving yourself? It's you just become that. Your soul is oozing somewhat this connection that you just can't help but feel this wonder, this beauty, this reverence and humility to the forces of life around you. And you surrender into that. You just give yourself to that. And that is the death of the identity, the death of the ego that so many practices want to take us to, because there you find your freedom. There you find that drop of peace where you can just rest in that ocean and be like, I don't need to be someone, and I don't need to prove myself, and I can rest in this which I am. Whatever cycle you're in, if you're in depression or if you're in ecstasy, if you're in creation or if you're in complete depletion, whatever it is, to see that as the nature you're in now, but to find a place where you can rest in that, knowing it will change. Okay, so let's just take a breath into that. So a little bit on the biodynamics of this. Okay, well, I went on for a bit, so we're going to have some time now to journey. I encourage you to just get yourself into a comfortable position. Okay, yes. Just coming somewhere comfortable. Take a few minutes if you need. If you need to pee before, which I do, so I'm going to go and pee and come back. So if you need to pee, just create a space around you, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Beginning to just breathe into your bodies. And you can be sitting down or lying down, it doesn't matter. You can be standing on your feet. This is your journey, so make it as you feel. And we're going to start by breathing into the base of our body. Just breathing into where this energy all begins. We are born from this beautiful union of sexual energy, masculine, feminine, finding itself in union. So opening up to that connection. Allowing the base of our body to invite what some may call the two serpents, or just two flows of energy, to start to circulate. To writhe, to move. Breathing it up from the earth and just allow it to circulate, become warm in your hips. Active breathing. If you want to just move your pelvic floor like water, like waves, just move. Breathing up this energy into your base. Breathing it up from the earth and back down into the earth. You may want to circulate your hips. Filling this lower area with breath and finding the sensations of fullness, of life entering your base through breath and through the energy of the earth. And just feel how this energy naturally wants to move up your spine and spiral around it to get to your heart. Just breathing, giving it space to move. And back down. Filling your organs, the organs of your lower body with this life-giving breath. Loving your organs, restoring them to a sense of vitality. Warming you from inside, moisturizing you, enlivening you with the sap of life. And connecting intimately with yourself as you connect your sexual or life-giving energy with your heart. What is invoked? Maybe there's feelings. Maybe you don't feel much, so just keep breathing this energy up. And allow the longing of your heart to merge with all that is. This deep longing to bring this energy to your heart. The longing to be alive, the longing to be free, to be in union. And in this realm, you may find memories arising. Memories of how you've moved in the world with this energy. Relationships may pop up. You might even find parts of you that feel ashamed of having this sexual energy. Or maybe it's an ecstatic current. Whatever it is, feel it and let it touch your heart and move back down. In this longing to feel the freedom, the union. To be free of any emotions, any thoughts that keep you weighed down. Liberate yourself by feeling the longing, the yearning. And allowing your jaw to relax open. So if your jaw is clenched, relax your jaw as we're going to continue to cultivate this life-giving energy from your base. And allowing it to stream through. Anywhere in your solar plexus, on the way this energy moves to your heart, connecting to your power. So just feeling into your relationship with your personal power. Maybe it's your power to speak freely. Your power of your boundaries. Or anywhere where you feel powerless, just breathe into that and allow it to vibrate. You may find sounds want to support you to move through this area. So vibrating the base with your solar plexus, your seat of power, allow it to vibrate, this energy to vibrate you. You can use sound to open these channels. If you want to shake your body slightly, even allow yourself to roar, whatever it is, keep feeling the flow of energy. You might even find rage in your solar plexus. Just give it expression, move it. Staying aware and present. And then allowing this energy to flow through. From your base to your solar plexus to your heart, feeling everything, your longing, your desire, your passion, and also anywhere where you feel powerless. Bringing power through your breath. Enlivening yourself. Accessing the power through your breath, through your sound. And breathing it all up, if you can, to your heart, feeling that gentle focus of Heru, horse. And bringing life to your heart from your base, staying connected from your root, your solar plexus to your heart. Feeling what's in your heart, your deep longings as a soul, your longing as a soul, as a being. Your desires, fulfilled or unfulfilled. Feeling into what weighs your heart for a moment. Any memories, any unforgiven, any things that you carry in your heart that you long to let go, to relieve yourself of the weight. Feel it now and bring it life, bring it breath. Bring it your tears, your rage, your sound, whatever you feel, to lighten your heart. Allow your exhale to relieve some of the weight. And you may find a journey of memories, your parents, ex-beloveds, partners, children, whatever it is, feel it, sound it, give it voice, give it breath. Bringing life into what ties you down, to bring it life, to bring it the wings it needs to be free. Breathing, sounding. Oh. And allowing the energy from the earth to come to support you. Feeling all that was and everything that your soul is longing to feel, to become, to feel it all. And if you need to open your arms and sound, using your voice, singing, sounding, give it everything you have to open to your life. Anything that's in your heart, give it sound, breath, even movement if you need to dance, to breathe. What have you been holding on to? Maybe there's someone you know you need to forgive. A parent, a lover, a partner, someone that you're still carrying in your heart. Forgive them here by bringing this life energy. that wants to restore you to a new way. If you need to speak their names, free them. If you need to shake it out of your body, if you need to cry, opening to the breath of life, to the key of life. Breath, life, energy moving through you. And with that, find the sap, maybe of even ecstasy, the current of life itself that wants to keep flowing through you, from your base, through your heart, all the way up to your throat, to your crown, to awaken you, enliven you. Receiving yourself as you are, welcoming yourself, this current that you are, this soul, this force, as it moves from your base, through your solar plexus, your heart, to your throat, to your crown, through your expression, remembering all of you is welcome here. All of you is welcome. Your past, your present, your future, your dreams, your hopes, your desires, your unfulfilled dreams, your passions, your filled dreams. Everything that makes you human, makes you alive. Your sorrows, your grief, your rage, all of it, feel it as it just moves through you as your living wisdom, your current, your unique soul signature. This is you. Embrace it, receive it. And in that current of life, feeling your unique essence, from all your experiences, you've accumulated your own wisdom, your own current, your signature. Just feel that essence permeating through you. what you love the most, what sparks you, what arouses you, what brings you joy and ecstasy. That which touches your heart so deeply that you can permeate from your being, from your own experience. This is your soul essence in the world. Feel the radiance like a sun inside of you. Oh. Your living story, your living vibration. Feel it oozing out of you, your cells, your heart, your breasts, your yoni, your phallus. Radiate out of your solar plexus and let it be effortless. You don't need to do anything. This is you, your essence, your vibration. From pain to love, sorrow to ecstasy. From unforgiven to lighter of heart. What do you care for so deeply? What touches your heart, your soul so deeply in this life? What do you stand for? What do you rise for? And it can be a number of things, but it makes you alive because it arouses you, it makes you feel deeper. And again, feeling this permeating energy from your base, your sex center, permeating through your body like a sap, resurrecting you. The erection of your spirit to stand for something with life. Even if you're grieving something inside of you wants to rise to meet it. Or if you're celebrating something. And if you feel empty, embrace yourself for being as you are. For coming home one step further to meet yourself. Now just letting it all rest inside of you. Finding a place where it can rest in your heart, rest in your belly, rest in your solar plexus, and rest in your crown. Just rest within yourself. Feeling like a child held by this universe, held by life itself. These beautiful cosmic forces, earth life forces, just dancing within you. The beat of life, your heartbeat, just resting. So find a way here to integrate, to ground. as a soul, as a spirit that has come from the stars into this body, into this living experience. Feeling the beat of earth, of life, this earth energy, the drum. And with that, returning really into your body. We're just going to take a few minutes to integrate. So just we're going to give about 2 minutes to just anchor this in, integrate it. If you need to just bring your body to lie on the earth, or if you need to stand and rise, or whatever you feel is your way to anchor this, to really allow it to become an anchor point for yourself, that you can always access this. Your root, your heart, your soul essence. If you want to make a prayer of your own kind, or set an intention for yourself, plant a seed in your heart, whatever it is. To remember your home, to rest in your inner home, sanctuary. Just rest in that. And slowly returning. If you feel like just resting in this, you can. If you feel like slowly returning to your screen, you're welcome to. Or you can just stay however you feel. We're not quite finished yet, but just be however you feel to be. You may just want to keep lying down and just listening with your eyes closed, whatever serves and supports you. So thank you for joining this journey. If you feel you want any emotional support after this, there's a beautiful emotional support team, or you can go and share in the lounge. This work deeply always touches me to even be able to just share it, and I'm feeling the sensitivity of the soul journey, or of the heart, and how intimate it is. So doing this journey is very intimate, and I just want to thank you for taking part in that and journeying so deep into yourself. we're going to wrap up in a moment. I just want to share that if you feel you wish to continue journeying with me, I do offer 6-week shamanic journeys where we go each week into a different gateway, and in that we experience the union, and we take a week for each one, which are 2 calls a week. And there's a few beautiful faces here that are on that journey, so thank you for showing up. I see you. There's also a journey to Egypt in April, goddess willing. Right now the borders are open, but if you feel to journey for 10 days on a beautiful boat and travel all the way up the Nile and then end up at the Great Pyramid, we will be journeying specifically with these forces of nature. Each temple will journey deep into that exploration, and also have shamanic journeys on board of a boat. And then at the pyramid, we're going to be staying right next to the pyramid. If you feel called and you feel like you're ready to, if your borders permit, you're welcome to come on that journey, 18th to 28th of April. Otherwise, just stay tuned. I offer free meditations, free journeys, free ebooks. Just if you feel like you wish to dive in more, just stay tuned. You'll find my information on the page, and there you can also access different works if you feel like this supported your journey. Yeah, so that's it. That's a little bit about how you can stay connected to me. And if you feel like sharing a testimonial, I deeply love and appreciate those. You can share it on the page, on the actual Evolve Fest page, or send it directly to me. I deeply appreciate receiving what it was for you, anything that opened, got touched. I love also hearing back. So we're going to stop recording, and we have about 5 or 7 more minutes, which we're going to open up for sharings. If anyone wishes to share, ask a question, or just write in the chat, you're welcome to. So thank you for joining this journey. If you want to leave now, you're also welcome to. I feel very blessed to have woken up today and be with all of you.